Hey guys, Amy here from Profiles, and I am here with your June swag. Sorry it is taking so long. I feel bad because it is holiday themed, but let's go over what's in your swag bag, and then I am also going to add some extra designs onto the end of this video so that you guys can get more use out of these products rather than just for the 4th of July. So we've got the Magic Matte Top Coat, which is a fan favorite for a magic or for a matte top. That is a no wipe matte top. And then we also have the little dab tips. We're going to use those for ombreing. We've got our holographic stars pasties, and then we've got the 3 dab colors in the red, white, and blue. So again, I decided I would add to this video and give you guys just a few extra designs and go into a little bit more explanation of what the dab gel is and what you can use it for, because it definitely is a very versatile art gel. So I'm excited to share some extra designs with you guys for this month too. So let's get into our first design, which we're going to do what the card shows. We're going to do a couple ombres and add our pasties and all that good stuff. So to get started, I am just swatching 3 or 4 tips with a nice, whatever your favorite French color is. This is Carly from the Babe collection, kind of my go-to when I'm doing Frenches, either Carly or Maya. So I'm going to do a couple tips, and I'm actually going to do 2 coats, just because when I'm doing the ombre and I can see that tip holder underneath, it throws my ombre off. So I am going to put 2 coats of the Carly on, and then I'm also swatching 1 white tip as well. So here we're putting our second color on, and then we'll pop that back into the lamp. So these have all cured. I am now going in with the matte top coat. So when we're trying to do an ombre or like that airbrushed look with the dab gel, it's very important to start with your matte base. This will help it give it that textured look and feel and grab the color a lot better. So we've got our dab tips. You guys received 3 of these, and they are all the rounded tips. Now these dab tips come in 2 different shapes, and I'll show you here in my stash. I've got some of the pointy shaped ones in here too. So I would use like these pointy ones if I was doing a stencil or I needed more of a precise application of the dab gel. But for the ombres and that really fine blend, you want to use the rounded ones. So that is the ones you got in the swag. And we're going to start with our red and white and blue. And these are a very thick, chalky gel. There's a lot of pigment in them, so they are pretty opaque. So to get started, I'm just going to dab my tip into the dab gel and grab some on that sponge. So typically I would just use my disposable palette, but I couldn't find that. So I've got just an acrylic palette here. Any palette will work. And you're just gonna dab that and kind of fill the sponge up. But you also want to press it out pretty well so that it's not leaving any lines. You want it to kind of give it a faded circle. You want to make sure there's no sharp lines. And when you're pressing this out on the free edge or on the nail tip, I am using an angle, so I'm going in a little heavier on the tip area and then just spreading it back. I did give it a quick flash cure right there, and now I'm going in with a second coat to really whiten up the free edge. And once you're happy with that, you'll give it a full 30-second cure. We'll cure it just fine. And if you want to go in and add a little bit more, I actually want to pull the ombre back a little bit further, but I can still see that tip holder underneath, and I swear that just throws me off when I'm doing my ombre. So now I'm just trying to perfect it a little bit. But again, once you're happy with your ombre, go ahead and put that in the lamp and cure that for 30 seconds. So that is now out of the lamp, and I am putting top coat on, and we're going to go ahead and cure this. My brush needs a little haircut there, but that's okay. So when you're using the pasties, the best surface to put these on is a slightly under-cured top coat. So I only cured my top coat for 30 seconds, and this is going to leave a really good surface for the pasty to adhere to. So I'm just grabbing a couple of those stars and placing them on there, and then we will top coat and protect those with the any no wipe top coat. And you'll notice on your sticker sheet there, some of the stars are outlines, so you can use the outline or the center of the star, whatever you're feeling. And then again, last, we're giving this that full 60-second cure, and that is it. So super easy way to do an ombre. This is by far my go-to way to do that baby boomer nail. That dab gel is just so opaque and easy to work with. So now we're going to use the white tip that we did. I also put matte top coat on, so we're starting with a matte surface. We're going in with our red, again filling up the sponge with that pigment, and then just kind of pressing it out just to make sure that I'm not having any stark lines. You can always add more, but to take away, you have to start over. So go in lighter than you think, and then if you want to add more afterwards, you can. Okay, now we're going in with the blue, and the blue is a really deep dark blue. I want to lighten it up just a little bit, so I'm adding just a little bit of white. It's going to give it a little bit more opacity and just make it that brighter blue that I'm looking for. So I just went in on my palette, added a little bit of white to it, and kind of mixed it on the tool just by pressing. So again, just going lighter and then just adding more as I need it. And then again, when we're happy with that, we're going to go ahead and cure this for 30 seconds. Once that is out of the lamp, we're going to go in with our decal. And I didn't top coat this one just because it wasn't going over the dab gel, so it was just going over that white mat that was in the center. So I did not top coat before this decal, but we are now top coating afterwards, and we're going to pop that back in the lamp for a 60-second cure. And this is again another fun, easy design. Whether you're doing this with these colors you have or you're mixing the colors, you can make pink, purple, so a lot of different designs you can do. So another thing that you can do with your dab gel is use your pasties as a stencil, and I'm going to add a little bit of white to the red to make a nice pink color. And again, we're just mixing it right on the sponge. So this will give us a nice kind of like a coral pink. And we're going to go right over the stencil and a little bit further out, so it's just going to kind of look airbrushed. And we're just going to clean this up a little bit, and then I'm going to remove the stencil before I cure. So I missed videoing this step. I'm not sure if I was out of frame or what, but I missed videoing the taking off the stencil. You just want to make sure you do that before you cure. And as I'm doing this voiceover, I realized I missed even top coating that nail. So you'll see the end result at the end. So our next design, we are taking, this is just the square gel brush from the Babe collection. I don't love this brush for like builder gel, but I love it for art. So it's really good if you love to do like the one stroke painting, which I am by no means a master at that at all, but I do love to do like a ribbon down the nail or some abstract flowers, stuff like that. That doesn't have to look perfect, if you know what I mean. So we're going to grab our dab gel. I'm just using a spatula, and I'm just going to take a little bit out of the jar, and we're going to place it right on our palette. We'll do, like I said, the red and the white, and then we'll take the corners of the brush and load it with each color. So red on one side, white on the other. Try to keep your product on one side of the brush, and then we're just going to do a slight blend going up and down and making sure that we have a nice blend between the red and the white. So then we're taking the brush and just creating a nice ribbon down the center of the nail. So this is going to take a couple passovers. Just obviously make sure that you're using your brush properly so that you're not, mixing up which side the red is on and which side the white is on. But again, the brush is short and stiff enough that it will hold enough product, which is nice. But you're going to have to do a couple passovers to make sure that you're happy with your lines and your ombre of the two colors kind of blend well. And from here, when you're happy with that, we're just gonna pop that into the lamp and we're gonna cure that for 30 seconds is good. So I did not, again, get myself top coating that nail, but we'll have a grand reveal of all of these nails at the end of the video. So moving on to our next design, we are going to make a nice purple. So I used some of the blue, used some blue and mixed some red in there, and I am going to add a little bit more white. I want it to be a much lighter purple. So we're gonna do some abstract kind of flowers. Again, using kind of the same technique, we're gonna use the square brush like we did for our little ribbon down the nail. And we are gonna use this nice light lavender color that we just mixed. And then I'm also going to use the blue right out of the jar, just to give me kind of two shades of a blue and a purple. So I'm loading my brush here and just blending the colors together on the brush. And then we're putting this over white gel polish. So this white has been cured. I did not have to put the matte top coat on. The only time you need to do that matte top coat is when you are trying to get that airbrushed ombre look. So for something like this, you don't have to do that. Now, again, you guys do not come for me because I am not a master artist with the one stroke painting. I am going for kind of that vintagey, abstract flower. That's my word, abstract. So I'm just kind of creating some petals here. If you do want to go over a design, like I'm adding some petals in the middle on top of existing petals, make sure that you're curing that in between. So I did a round of petals. I did pop it in the lamp for about 10 seconds, and now I'm doing a few more. So I'm gonna do this throughout the whole nail and just kind of create a little pattern. And I'm not gonna lie, my first flower I was not entirely happy with, but I'm gonna trust the process because I know what I want this to look like at the end. And I don't want it to be perfect flowers. I want it to, like I said, I'm going abstract here, people. So, okay, we've got this in the lamp. When this comes out, I'm just going to use a nice kind of sage green gel polish, add a little bit of white into that just to give it a little bit more dimension, and then add the leaves. Once we're happy with this, it goes back in the lamp for about 15 seconds, and then I'm going to use a matte top coat over the whole thing. Oh, at least I videoed the reveal on this one. Okay, good for me. Okay, so for our last design, I wanted to show you how nice it is to stamp with. Dab gel makes an excellent stamping gel. So we're gonna clean off our clear stamper here, and then we're gonna go in with our white dab gel and just use our gel paint or gel brush, and we're gonna put it right on the plate. Once you've filled in the design that you want, you're gonna take your scraper, just as you would if you were using stamping polish, and just scrape over it a few times just to make sure that you've got that gel paint kind of packed in there well. And then I'm gonna let this sit for a minute so that you guys can see. I mean, you have all the time in the world, and we know with stamping, usually if you're using polish, it's gonna be dry by then. So it's kind of nice to do it with the dab gel because you've got all the time in the world when you're doing the gel. It's not going to cure until you cure it. So we've got it on our clear stamper, and then we're just going to roll it right on the nail. And we've just got 2 seashells here. Perfect. We're going to pop that in the lamp and cure that for 15 seconds. And then now you've got a stamp design that will accept chrome, which is great. So we're going to take just some gold chrome. I've got my little applicator here, and I'm just pressing it right into the dab gel. The dab gel does not leave a really tacky layer, but it leaves enough of a layer that it will grab chrome. If you wanted to sugar and maybe put acrylic powder to make it look matte or like a fine glitter, you would do that before curing. Your chrome you're doing after curing. So once you're happy with that, just dust off the excess chrome, and then we're gonna go in with top coat and top coat the whole nail. And here is our grand reveal. So here's all of our designs that we just did, top coated and finished up. Some of these have the matte top coat over it, some of it is gloss, and obviously that is completely up to you guys, whatever you're feeling. So dab gel is just a very versatile gel medium. You can paint with it, you can stamp with it, ombre with it, use stencils. I mean, really the possibilities are endless with this stuff. So thank you so much for watching the video, you guys. I'm glad I got to add a couple extra bonus designs in there for you. And hopefully you get your swag soon, and I will see you all next month.